So I think this is just typical of sportsmen. You're there to play sport, you represent your country, you got fucking the highest honours, you get paid millions of dollars. Just fucking go and play cricket. You can have opinions and stuff, but and this is a bloke that, so he gets out and says, well, I'm not doing their edge anymore because of climate change and they're the fourth biggest polluter in Australia, blah, blah, blah. Yet he drives around in a fucking Range Rover.
Yeah.
He flies first class laying up. There's photos of him laying up in first class seats where you could probably fit fucking 8 seats. They've got one with him laying in it. Just keep your fucking mouth shut and play cricket. Like,
yeah, well, it doesn't matter how you look at it. It's a little bit hypocritical because, you know, like, it's not as though Linter Energy of taking business away from solar energy farms or anything like that. You know, like, they're just an energy company providing energy. So, you know, it's not as though they've hijacked the market or something. If you're not using them, you're using another company that's using really fossil fuels anyway. So I think the biggest problem with them is they haven't as yet introduced any sort of green energy in their production. But
which is a good idea because when it all comes down to it, we're going to need fucking new coal-fired power stations or nuclear or something. So we need a company that just says, fuck it, we'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to it, and they've run out of power and they can't charge their electric cars and their fucking mobile phones, they're going to need something. And we'll be there and charge them shitloads to fucking fix it up for them.
Linter Energy provided $40 million to Australian cricket in the past 4 years, or the past 3 years. They've still got a year to go. And Pat's appeared in 8 commercials at least for the company. And if you've seen the commercials, they're fucked there. Jesus, they're fucked there.
Oh.
Why is this spa not hot? We're supposed to be saving on gas.
Which one of us was saving on gas?
That's another thing cricketers shouldn't do, or footballers.
Oh.
Just appear in there, don't talk, just appear in there playing cricket or playing football or something. Don't talk about nothing.
I've always had the theory that all cricketers are wankers. Because you look at it, who's the last cool cricketer you've ever seen in your life? Like, I was a big fan of Rod Marsh for years, and then I read his autobiography. What a fuckwit.
What about Warney?
Warney was
like he went, but he rooted Liz Hurley. I mean, fuck, you got to get points for that.
Yeah, but he was a fuckwit. The only one I really like is Dougie Walters. That was the only one that sort of I can't find any.
What about Kerry?
Who?
Kerry, fucking the little bald-headed commentator they got on telly now, was a spinner.
Kerry O'Keefe.
Yeah, Kerry O'Keefe. He's a piss cutter, Kerry.
Okay. Maybe not all of them are fuckwits, but majority of them are.
Well, half of them now are out on drugs and fucking beating up their ex-missus and getting locked up.
They say they should have
not half of them, 2 of them, but that's a lot. That's still a lot.
But I've lost interest in it since fucking sandpaper ball incident. You know, like, how fucking stupid was that?
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
Back to Pat Cummins. I just wonder what his next step is. You know, if he's such a fucking climate warrior. You know, is he going to?
Well, I'll tell you how good he is. That fucking Doi Badam Band has called him a hero. He's a hero for what he's done. I mean, fucking, how are they throwing the word hero around now, for fuck's sake? And would you want that fucking midge in your corner anyway, like backing you up? Wouldn't he be ringing out a band saying, listen, cock, just don't talk about me? I think I would.
But will Pat Cummins go back to the IPL, the Indian Premier League, where it's run by fucking...
Of course he won't, because India's the fucking second biggest polluter in the world. And Pat Cummins he's a hero for fucking not doing Linter ads anymore, so he's not going to go back to India and play in a place that's got 67, I think, new coal-fired power stations getting built at the moment. Of course he won't go there.
Well, the competition is sponsored by the Tata conglomerate, which...
they make Tata sauce.
Well, I thought they made those fucking tassels for you, for the tits. No, they don't. Well, they might, I don't know. But they're into mining, they're into cement production, and cement production is another huge polluter, which no one talks about, because
Uh,
what are we going to do about cement? Yeah, the Tatar group, you might have to say Tatar to them too. And maybe, like Pat Cummins worth over $70 million. Maybe you could use some of that money to, I don't know, start green projects instead of buying fucking Range Rovers or whatever the fuck he drives around in.
yeah, well, they've got to stop making cricket bats out of wood. How many forests will get knocked over to fucking make cricket bats with?
Isn't it willow? I think willow's a pest anyway.
That's not the point. They're trees, whether they're pests or not.
I don't know.
You can't just knock trees over that, and they can't make them out of plastic unless they make them out of recyclable plastic. But I can imagine a cricket bat floating down the drain and getting caught in a fucking dolphin's mouth or something. That'd cause a huge uproar. Plus, they use leather balls. Well, where are they getting the leather from?
Yeah. But I looked into Alinta Energy, and I love it. It must be dodgy. It must be fucking dodgy because it's run by a Hong Kong-based businessman, Chow Tai Fook.
Fuck you. Fuck me. See?
Fuck me, eh? Fuck you.
What the fuck are you doing?
And the sale of the purchase of the energy company was approved by Scott Morrison. So all above board there, mate.
Shut up in the gallery back there. Get kicked out.
What did you say?
Enough from the gallery back there, and I could kick you out.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, that was another thing. In fact, Cummins had to come out and said, I don't want to be playing for the sponsor of Alinta Energy because they're owned by the Chinese. I'd support him. I'd say, good on you, Pat. Fuck them off. They shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But he hasn't said that, so fuck him. He shouldn't have the captaincy. He should be sacked. If he is bowling, he should only be allowed to wear one shoe.
No, it's not fuck him. It's fuck him.
Oh, behave, baby. Yes.
And the only other notes I got written down here is all cricketers are wankers. Steve Smith looks like a mong. Michael Clark and Kim Hughes are fucking hoofs. And Alan Border's the only captain I like.
Fucking hell, you hard on cricketers. I didn't know. That's the only thing I've ever found you passionate about, that you hate cricketers so much.
I think it first cropped up when I was sharing that house with those two girls, and one of them started going out with his bloke. And his bloke, at one point in time, represented the ACT in indoor cricket. And the reason I knew this is because every fucking time he'd come around, he'd be wearing his ACT representative T-shirt. I said, you own another fucking shirt, mate. You're looking at three of these.
Well, three of
I
them.
never saw him not wearing it, or one of them.
For fuck's sake.
Cricketers are wankers, and that's when I started to examine cricketers a bit more closely.
I think you should be careful because we don't want to offend any cricketers that might happen to watch this video, unless they're fuckwits.
Well, they will be fuckwits. They just don't realise they're fuckwits.
Oh, now they will.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You've enlightened some people. Well, and while we're on sportsmen, how about this fucking the netball team that's broke, hasn't got a bench sent to their name, and now they don't want to take sponsorship off Gina Reinhart because of something the father said back in 1992.
That's the fucking...
How fucking bright are these people?
What's her name? Danielle Wallam. If she leaves if she can't play for the Diamonds, well, they can't get Pat Cummins in because they're sponsored by Origin fucking Energy, sorry.
Alinta.
No, the Diamonds are sponsored by Origin Energy.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. So she doesn't want a little... See, Origin Energy are the naming sponsors. They've got fucking Origin written across their tits. But what Gina Reinhart wanted was a little... What are they called? Fucking Hancock prospecting badge up here somewhere. And that's what she doesn't want to wear. But still happy with the fucking Origin Energy, the owners of the biggest coal plant in Australia.
Yeah, so that's good that the netballers aren't worried about the fucking climate. They're just playing netball. But the comments that what was his name?
Lang Hancock.
Yeah, Lang Hancock made were probably pretty bad. But back in the day,
yeah, they were bad. I'll play the clip.
Gina Reinhardt never said it.
No.
Those that have been assimilated into earning good living or earning wages amongst the civilised areas, that have been accepted into society, and they have accepted society and can handle society, I'd leave them well alone. The ones that are no good to themselves and can't accept things, the half-caste, and this is where most of the trouble comes, I would dope the water up so that they were sterile and would breed themselves out in the future, and that would solve the problem.
Well, Gina Reinhardt, she does the sponsorships, she does the educational scholarships. There's a big write-up in the National Indigenous Times about her, and they're a strong supporter of her. $300 million a year in Indigenous royalties from the mining. And what people have to realise, when Lang Hancock said that, he was a cranky old prick. I think he was older than us back then. He didn't look too fresh. It was the early 80s. And even though it doesn't sound that long ago, it was a long time ago, because back in those days, in the early 80s, you could still smoke on planes, you could still smoke in restaurants and in fucking shopping centres. You drink driving.
And Kevin Wilson can still sing about black fellas coming down from Mikathara moving in next door to Bondi.
Yeah. Drink driving wasn't a huge thing. You'd probably have to have an accident before you got done for drink driving. It was .08 back then anyway. And Hey Saturday was still doing blackface. You know, like that was fucking every week. So it's just, even though it doesn't sound like a long time. And if Lang dropped the word Indigenous from it and just said the rat bags get around the place and have them sterilised, most people probably go, why not? He shouldn't have isolated the Indigenous. But
exactly, he should have included every rat bag, not singled out black rat bags. That's fair enough. He should have included every rat bag, because you can't say that every black fella's a rat bag, and you can't say every white fella's not a rat bag. So,
oh, geez, most of the fucking rat bags I know are white.
Oh, fuck you. Rat bags, they're fuckwits. Gina Reinhardt could go, well, fuck it. She wants to do that and fucking basically accuse me of being a racist because my dad was. I'll pull all my fucking sponsorship from the Aboriginal people. They won't get nothing, except for she's got to pay royalties, obviously, because that's the law. But as far as everything else goes, well, fuck it, I won't do it.
Like, I'm no fan of Gina Reinhardt. You know, like, she can be a pretty nasty bit of work, but, you know, like, fuck, the good old man said it. And for people to be saying, well, Gina Reinhardt should come out and say, I haven't got the same opinion as my father. Why should she have to come out and say that?
Fucking hell.
Yeah, well, I've got German descent, but I haven't got the same fucking opinions as Adolf Hitler.
Exactly. Why should she have to come out and say any fucking thing?
But,
I mean, we'd all walk around for the rest of our life apologising to people for what your fucking parents done.
During post-production, Hancock Prospecting, not surprisingly, announced that they'd be withdrawing their sponsorship from the Australian women's netball team, the Diamonds. So let's just run through what happened again. Here, have a $15 million sponsorship. Oh, geez, Gina, we really needed that. Yeah, no worries. It'll help you, and it's good publicity for me. It's win-win. Yeah, but we can't display your branding. What? Why not? Yeah, one of the girls is a bit upset with something your dead father said nearly half a century ago. What? Oh, and probably wouldn't hurt if you denounced him while you're at it, as the internet appears to be calling you all racist and shit now. What the fuck? Yeah, so once you've apologised and given up your branding, we'll be happy to take your money. You can stick it up your arse.